Cheers, legends. Sammy from Short and Stout Beer Reviews. We've just done a Macro Monday, Han Premium or Han Super Dry or whatever it's called. Nothing special, but now we've got a craft beer. It's out of Bright, which is in the high country in Victoria, up near the ski fields. Bright Brewing. It is a coconut, vanilla, and chili stout. I like the sound of it. 6.2%, 440 tin. It's called Midnight in the Mountains. Pretty cool can artwork. And I think recently these guys had a beer festival, so it may have even been part of that because it was probably brewed around that time. Looks pretty cool. Like everyone's out in the country and they got like, I'm pretty sure it's Bright. If it's not Bright, it's Beechworth. It's one of those anyway. But yeah, out in the country, they had like all these fires going. There's people like dancing and tunes, and yeah, it looked pretty cool. I'll read what it says on the back. Beware the creatures that live by night. Grab a can, pack a torch, and join us as we venture after dark into the mountains that surround our stunning alpine oasis. These peaks are home to countless legends, from elusive alpine bears to mythical abominable snowmen, and even the ghosts of, what does that say? The ghosts of lost ski bums of seasons past. For those through For those, though, that would rather embrace the thrill of the dark from the safety of your own home, enjoy the coconut, vanilla, and chili stout. That is the perfect mix of sweet and dangerously bold. Cool. It's always so bloody hard to read the whatever's written on these cans. It's always either the font is so small or it's like a color that's on another color where it just you can't see it properly. Maybe I'm getting old too, and my sight is diminishing. I certainly wouldn't say I can't read. I feel when it comes to English, I'm pretty decent. Yeah, keen to get into this one. I've got the same glass that I used before, the old pub handle glass. I don't know if it had a logo on it. Might have been a Melbourne Demons, like Melbourne Football Club glass, and yeah, it's just like faded over the years. Not sure. I actually went to a discount. What do you call them? Like a thrift shop. I went to a thrift shop today when I was walking home from work. I thought, I wonder what glassware they've got because I really want some old school beer glassware, like an old VB glass or Carlton Draft or something like that. And you just never see them. Like I thought, you only ever see them in old pubs, or like someone will have them online, like on eBay, and they're selling them for like way more than what they're worth. And yeah, I come across an old German glass. It was pretty cool. And then yeah, there was some Bailey's sippers. They were pretty cool. There was something else. It was one of the Aussie beers. I just can't remember which one, but yeah, I really wanted VB or Melbourne Bitter or Carlton Draft, one of the Victorian ones, but I might see them somewhere. Probably more likely to come across that sort of stuff in like Melbourne thrift shops. I went to a thrift shop once I think it was actually, I think it was Brunswick, and it was really good. Like it had so much different stuff. Anyway, let's get into this. Hopefully decent. Hopefully we get all three adjuncts, and it's got a nice roasty like base. It looks light in colour. Doesn't look like a stout. Looks very light. Okay. So apparently that's a stout. I mean, in my camera it does look like a stout, but it's actually like it's got a real red tinge to it. In the camera it looks like fair enough, but yeah, it's definitely more of like an amber color. It doesn't look like a stout at all in reality. Very, very odd. It's got a two-finger white head. And yeah, as I said, it's like more of like a copper or an amber color. In the camera, it looks way darker than what it is. I would say fairly light body, light to medium. Not much carbonation. Let's go a whiff. So on the nose, I'm getting caramel, maybe some vanilla. Sort of giving me like those cola vibes. Coke. There may be a little hint of chili there. I really hope it's like got some spice. That'll if the base isn't roasty and you still get the adjunct flavor, it'll be good. But yeah, ideally I'd love a roasty base and then you get the vanilla, the coconut, and then the chili sort of at the end. Yeah, sometimes vanilla and coconut can be very similar if they've got all these other flavors around them. You just get that sort of sweetness, like a almost like a milky sweetness. I think I need to taste this one. It's hard on the old nose. You're not getting any sort of fruity notes, or I'm not getting like coffee or like roasty, bitter sort of notes. Yeah, maybe like chocolate, but yeah, I just get more caramel. It just smells like a sort of a sweet caramel. Anyway, let's have a taste. Cheers, peeps. I just wish you could see the real colour of it. Oh, there you go. That's sort of giving it. See what I mean? It's like not even like stout colour. It's more like a dark lager. Oh, oh. It's certainly not roasty, which is disappointing, but the vanilla and the coconut are both there. As soon as you took that first sip, you got both evenly, and then you get this little chili, the back of the palate. But yeah, it's almost like it reminds me more of like a dark lager. You get that sort of caramel malt, like even like bready sort of quality. It's like a dark lager with like adjuncts. See, the adjuncts I like. I even like just that caramel flavor and that. But yeah, it's certainly unbalanced, but it's tasty. It's weird. It's almost like because you're getting sort of caramel and vanilla and coconut, little touch of chocolate. It's almost like Bounty Bar, but then you get this like, yeah, as I said, like a just down the back of the palate, you get this like a almost like a little sort of habanero sort of chili hit. Hmm. For dinner, I had like it was like a sweet and sour pork with like rice. Um, yeah, when I was at Aldi, I just sort of picked up a few things. Tomorrow I'm going to have a go of cooking my own pad thai, so that'll be interesting. Cheers, Tanner. Good to see you, brother. Um, yeah, I've just sort of like bought like stocked up on sort of like chicken breasts and rice and vegetables and that, and thought I'll have a go of a few different things. Yeah, fireball beer needs a bit of cinnamon. No, that yeah, it's really weird. It's like I'm disappointed because it's not roasty and it's a stout. So obviously I love a roasty stout that's very bitter and like old school sort of Russian imperial stout. You love that like coffee, chocolate, caramel, even like your burnt sugar, your I mean, so yeah, your brown sugar, your like your molasses, that sort of. I love those qualities, and they're not there. It's just sort of like caramel, like a I don't know, like an English ale or something. But then I mean, it's called a yeah coconut, vanilla, and chili stout. So you're expecting those three adjuncts to come out, and yeah, as soon as you taste it, they're there. So it's sort of part of me is annoyed that the malt base isn't accurate, but the adjuncts make up for it. I think it should be called a coconut, vanilla, and chili dark ale. Oh yeah, cool. What'd you go for? I feel like with you guys, when you get like Tavor stuff and that, you'd be going probably for like West Coast stuff and stuff you can't sort of get hold of as easy. It's the beauty of like, yeah, countries like Australia and America, they're so fucking massive. There's like just so many areas to choose from to get like different products and stuff. You can't just get in the car and drive to the other side of the country like you can in like Germany and shit. Yeah. And like as I've gotten sort of more advanced in craft beer and that over the years, it's like I really like a stout to be like a proper stout. Whereas, yeah, when I first got into craft, it was like, yeah, you were just wanting ones that tasted like, yeah, chocolate bars, and you were going for all the adjuncts and all the sweetness and that. But yeah, it's like the opposite to what I like now. Yeah, yeah, RARs everywhere now. You see them like popping up in the UK and Australia, and they must just have a massive distribution all of a sudden. It's just random, like they're just this yeah brewery from like Maryland, and they're popping up everywhere. On I've I've been into craft beer since about 2013. I think I got into it. I started watching like beer tubers, like Craig was one of the first ones I started watching. You know him. I think the rest you probably haven't met. But yeah, I started watching Craig sort of. I think it was just prior to the pandemic. I think. Pretty sure I knew him before the pandemic. Him and Jake and Rob from Hopzine, and then there was a few American guys, and yeah, it's funny. Like I sort of like used to watch them, and it was almost like I idolized them. I thought they were like such cool people, and now it's like I'm mates with them all. Like it's funny. Yeah, we are trying to work it out the other day because I used to just start. I started off by just popping up in their chats, and because like sort of friendly and outgoing and always got heaps to say, I'd be one of the main ones in the chat that would like sort of keep shit going, like always asking questions and talking to everyone else. And so I sort of got to know a few of them fairly well just by doing that. And then I didn't have a computer or anything. Like I had no setup to like jump up on panels or anything. And like that was when I sort of started hanging out with the US guys as well. Like Tanner's one of them, East Coast. Yeah, heap of those guys. And yeah, all of a sudden I thought I better fucking start doing some shit myself, or at least buy a laptop and a camera and that so I can start joining panels. And yeah, I started doing that and that was cool. And then I thought, well, I may as well start my own channel now. So I've had my own channel for just over a year, I think. But I was doing a bit of stuff on Instagram there for a couple of years, but yeah, I don't know. As soon as I started YouTube, it's like Instagram just sort of like fell away. I just couldn't be. I don't mind taking photos and posting stuff quickly, but it's like all the like writing stuff about it. It's like I just can't be bothered. Just seems like too much work. Whereas like it's easy, just that's what I like about doing live reviews. It's like all you do is, I mean, it can be daunting for some people, but I just find it easy. Just press record and bang, away you go. Yeah, that's weird. Oh, really? Yeah, the characters like, are pretty cool. I have some real funny ones. Yeah, I think my channel's been going for like a year and maybe 4 months or something now. Yeah, cool. Is it gonna be like short straw and sort of like attached to all your like your Facebook and your YouTube and stuff? Back to the dark lager. See, I feel like as it warms, the chili's getting a bit more like kick to it. But yeah, it definitely tastes. I don't know if it's like vanilla bean. It sort of gives off more of like a vanilla flavoring, but the coconut actually tastes like toasted coconut. And then yeah, I don't know what type of chili it'd be, but it's got a bit of bite to it. I mean, you're not going to put anything real fierce in a beer as far as chilies go, but normally it's like habanero or one of those sort of. They're still spicy, but compared to other chilies, they're sort of low end. So yeah, as I said with this, like mainly caramel in the base, slightly maybe bready and biscuity, but yeah, it's just not roasty at all. Like I'm only getting sort of faint chocolate. It just comes across more as like a dark ale, like an old English sort of, yeah. I don't know what they call them, that style, but yeah. One order I put in before I realised how much I'm struggling for cash at the moment. One of my favourite breweries up in Sydney, they're doing like a end of financial year sale. So everything was already like, I think it was like 15% off, and it was free postage as well. And then because I hadn't placed an online order through, I must have been using a different email address. I then got a further 10%. So yeah, I bought a whole case of a lager that's tied up with the football club. I thought that'll be pretty cool. And then their Czech Pilsner is awesome, and their Czech Dark Lager. So I got a 4 pack of both of them. And then I got another, I think it might have been a lager or a pale ale. So yeah, I've got about, it's at least like 24 beers or so coming from them for like a good price. So I mean, I wouldn't have done it. Yeah, like with all the bills and that I've got recently, and just yeah, costs and shit of stuff. It's like I need to be sensible. But yeah, I'd already put this order in, so hopefully it comes in the next few days. Yeah, for sure. When I was in Melbourne, I did one from a brewery late at night, and then I did another one from a craft bar. And then me and Adam did a couple, and every single live we did got like, or even the random ones I did by myself, they all got like massive views, like, yeah, like over like sort of 500 views, I think, for each one. And that's like awesome for like just a random live stream. And that's like, yeah, with real shit lighting and that as well. Yeah. I had a garage project, another half collab. It was either, I think it was 2 days ago, and it was an IPA, but it was only 5.5%. I'm like, clearly that's a pale ale. But it was like, yeah, it like packed a punch for how small it was. It was quite a good beer. It was called Steak and Cheese Pie. I thought that's a pretty cool name for a beer. Yeah, for sure, dude. Yeah, it'd be good to like, as I said, it'd be cool to hang out, go do some stuff together. You need to find like a weekend where it's a bit quieter for you at work, and maybe your missus has got other plans or something, and we can have a beer together. Go to a couple of places. Just like the color of this, it's just so not. I just wish it would show up in the camera more. You sort of get an idea there. It's just like really like reddish brownish and not like jet black at all. You can definitely tell it's a lower ABV though. Like it doesn't. It's certainly not boozy. Yeah. Yeah. Well, as I said, because like my favourite bar or one of my favourite bars is in Thornbury, and that's like near where you grew up. So you'd probably like sort of hanging out in your old area. And you might know of some like good food spots or somewhere to go. That week, yeah, that chili's definitely building. as it as it's warming, the vanilla and the coconut are getting stronger, and so is the chili. They're all sort of coming out. What was I going to say? Yeah, later in the year when I've got Oasis and Metallica concerts both in the same week. I'm thinking about coming down and staying in Melbourne for a few nights in a row, and that would be a cool time to like catch up with you. I mean, obviously, I want to catch up with you before then, but like I'd be able to do the whole Wednesday night thing and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, Spaniards kebabs for sure. I do want to try it again because I tried it when it had just opened, and I always feel like I felt like they got slammed that first night when TJ went there, so it was always going to be hard to be good. But yeah, apparently the ones in Sydney that have been going for a while are now doing really well because they've sort of got a bit more settled, a bit more established. They're not as frantic as what they were. Cheers, budget home gym training, a newbie. Um, it is currently 8:50 at night, Monday night. Whereabouts are you from, bro? Yep. It's obviously going well. So I think they've got about five in Sydney now. Oregon, cool. Yeah, one of our beer friends is from Oregon. Um, not Portland, but it's like, yeah, about an hour away from there. Seems like a pretty cool area. A lot of forest, good coastline. I do have a favourite AFL team, Melbourne Football Club, but they are going shit. Yeah, they're having a bit of a poor season. They should be playing a lot better. They've got a really good team, but it's just not clicking. So yeah, it's sort of hard to. It's easy to lose interest when they're playing shit. And yeah, in the NRL, I follow Melbourne as well. Melbourne Storm. Yeah, you're not really into your sports, are you, dude? There's nothing wrong with that. I've got heaps of mates that don't give a fuck about sport. One thing we need to do too, as I said to you, I reckon it'd be cool to go to a gig together. Yeah. Whoosh. The hair's getting fairly long too. But yeah, it's already the reason I got rid of the hair last time is it started getting some real bad damage to it. And yeah, it just I felt like it was beyond. I could have had some lady bloody going through it and getting all the knots out and like giving it a cut and getting rid of all the loose ends, and they could have fixed it, like saved it, but I was just like, nah, fuck it. I just wanted to shave it off and start again. And that's what I've sort of done. But yeah, it's like I've already got like fucking damage to it again. One of my biggest problems, I tend to like when I'll have a shower, I'll like quickly dry it and then just don't give a fuck about it. Like I should be drying it properly and also not going to bed with wet hair as well. But I'm in a job too where I get shit in my hair and yeah, it's like pain in the ass. It's just I just find it really hard to. You know exactly what I'm talking about with your hair. It's hard to maintain. Oh, cool. That's awesome. So yeah, you watch footy in America. Unreal. Yeah, because I was wondering when you said about AFL, I'm like, that's odd that you even know about AFL. Most Americans have no idea about it. Yeah, I've got like quite a few mates and a couple of family members that are Hawthorn supporters. So yeah, they're one of those teams I don't mind. I do like the fact with the Hawks lately they got a heap of young kids playing and they're doing really well. Um, they have been a bit hot and cold this year. Last year they finished off pretty strong. Yeah, yeah. Well, certain things at work, depending on what we're doing, like yeah, you'll quite often have like hair nets or beard nets or that sort of thing. Ah, cheers, mate. You're welcome anytime. Feel free to subscribe. It'd be good to see you again. I normally do like beer reviews, sort of a couple of beer reviews a week. And then I do some live hangouts every now and then where I'll have people up on a panel with me. But yeah, it's good community. Ah, cool. Cheers, dude. Pretty good. It's it's meant to be a stout though, and look at the colour of it. It's more like a dark ale. But I'll show you the can. Where did I put the can is the question. Ah, here it is. So it's by a brewery called Bright, and they're out of a town called Bright, which is up in the mountains in Victoria, which is my state in the south of Australia. And yeah, it's called Midnight in the Mountains, and then that's what it is. Coconut, vanilla, and chili stout. So those three flavors are in there, and it's quite nice. And then you're getting sort of like a caramel biscuity sort of base, but it's not like when you have a stout normally to be real roasty and bitter and you'll get like coffee and dark chocolate and that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's just not sort of drinking like that. Yeah, cool can artwork, isn't it? A lot of craft beer has like awesome artwork. Nah, cheers, dude. Thanks for chiming in. I'll yeah, no doubt see you again. You'll probably be live on Wednesday and I'll be home, so I'll be able to watch it. A lot of times when you go live on the Wednesdays, I'm at work, but because I'm working mornings this week, I'll be able to check it out. So yeah, have a good night, brother. Whereabouts are you from? Shoe? Is it Shoe? Is that how it's pronounced? A couple of my sort of weeknight streams lately, I've been getting sort of recommended to people, and it's good to see new people coming in, and it's cool too because you get people from all different like walks of life, and like people will even people that aren't into beer, they'll still come in just to have a chat, and because yeah, even though I do beer reviews, it's sort of like an online pub, so you're sort of coming in and just chatting to people, and it's like a place to hang out. It's the beauty of going live. Not only are you sort of talking about the beer and that, but you're just talking about everyday stuff. So even in the last stream, I was complaining about the cost of living. Yeah, sometimes there'd be some like I don't know, sort of silly behaviour and banter, and then other times, yeah, it's like complaining about stuff, but it's real, like it's just everyday shit. Yeah, I sort of feel like the coconut slightly like overshadows the vanilla. And as I said, the coconut sort of has more of a. I feel like the vanilla is not like proper vanilla bean. It could be, but it just has that sort of like slightly artificial taste to it, whereas the coconut seems a bit more legit. Could be wrong, but yeah, I've done home brews myself where I've used like yeah, I've used toast. I've toasted the actual coconut in the oven, and I've had like vanilla bean, and it'd be good to get back into the home brewing, but I just don't really have the setup for it where I live. I don't know if you're still here, Tanner, but yeah, it's good seeing you getting into it, mate. You got plenty of good people around you too for tips and stuff. Bumpy and Beer Man. But yeah, you just get that little hint of chili just sort of sitting at the back of the palate, just hanging around saying, Yep, I'm here. But yeah, unfortunately, I have to get up so early for work, so I can't sort of stay up too late. I'm starting at 4 a.m. every day this week, so I'm pretty much having to get up before 3 a.m. every day. It's a bit of a killer. I had a bit of a sleep this afternoon because when you sort of have a bit of like a bit of action on the weekend, and then you have to start so early on the Monday. Quite often you're real tired by the time you get home. So you ended up having a little nap, had a few hours. So I feel like tonight I could sort of have sort of only 5, 6 hours and I'll be right. So yeah, I'll probably stay up for like maybe another hour and then head to bed. But yeah, score for this one. It's tough. Like, it's funny because it's sort of this beer has turned out sort of similar to how I expected. I didn't expect it to be the color it is, but I just had a feeling that it wasn't going to be real roasty and was going to be more about the adjuncts. And that's definitely the case. So I'll say the negatives first is the color just doesn't seem right. It seems more like a dark ale, a dark lager, something like that than a stout. It's sort of like a browny, amber, copper sort of color, and like obviously stouts are more really dark, chocolatey, or like black in color. Um, yeah, and also due to that reason, whatever malts they used, you're not getting that real roasty, bitter flavour. There's no like huge dark chocolate notes or coffee or that bitterness. Um, yeah, so they're the negatives. Oh, probably the body's pretty light as well. But yeah, the positives, it does have like a really nice caramel malt flavour. Um, yeah, like biscuity as well. And then the actual adjuncts, they shine. Like all three of them are there and taste pretty decent. Um, yeah, the vanilla and the coconut sort of hit you instantly with the caramel. And it's like this nice sweetness. And then all of a sudden you get this like spice on the back of the palate that sort of, yeah, like changes it up. So yeah, I feel like it's a good beer, but it's just not true to style. So for a score, I'd probably say I'll have this last sip. I'll give it a 4.2, which is still a pretty good score considering it's not sort of accurate to style. I just think the fact that the adjuncts are all there and yeah, like I still think it's a tasty beer. So it's like I can't critique it too much. So yeah, it's around the sort of 4.2, 4.1 mark. Hmm. Unfortunately, it's all gone. So yeah, both those beers sort of went down pretty easily. But yeah, if this was like a say if this was a double like an imperial stout, let's say. So sort of I'm gonna say around the anywhere from sort of 9% to like 11 or 12. So if it was real roasty and bitter and like yeah, coffee, dark chocolate, caramel, like that brown sugar sort of thing. What so real intense malt, like complex malts, and then it had the same sort of coconut, vanilla, and chili in it. It would make for a very, very good beer. So Bright Brewery, if you're watching this, take notes. I've had some pretty shit ones over the years. I've had too many beers to sort of pick out just one. But most of the beers that come to mind when I think of the worst is like some of the macro beers you get from like Southeast Asian countries. They're just like really shit, like lagers and taste skunked and yeah. But yeah, at festivals and that, I've had some pretty average stuff. Like yeah, I've been to festivals where they've made beers that taste like foods, and I remember what I had one that had like a mushroomy sort of taste, and I remember that being pretty shit. But yeah, when it comes to me thinking beers are shit, it tends to be like when they're sort of real watered down and they got no flavour to them. How's it pronounced? Is it glottis? Cheers to her anyway, turning 19. Happy birthday. It was my birthday last week, so June babies. See, we have a name here, Gladys, but yeah, because it's GLO, I thought I'm maybe Glottis. 19, still got the world ahead of her. I wish I was 19 again. Cheers for chiming in. Whereabouts are you guys from? The moon looks like a cricket ball. And then the clouds either side of it are like hands. No, it's been another eventful night. Two pretty cool streams. Iceland, cool. And I did say it correctly. Awesome. Well, once again, happy birthday, Glottis. Oh, that's awesome that you're from Iceland. Yeah, well, feel free to subscribe. It'd be good to see more of you. We yeah, I do these streams quite often. Sometimes they're just small sort of beer streams. Other times I'll do like a hangout with a heap of people on the panel and it can go for hours and just talking about whatever. But yeah, it's cool to have people in the community from all different like walks of life and different parts of the globe. I've got a group of guys, they're all mates, they're beer guys from Norway. So yeah, they pop on every now and then. They're all part of like a beer club. So yeah, it's cool to have Scandinavian people involved. Cheers. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. So yeah, thanks to everyone that's joined. It's been good to see some new ones in here again. And yeah, I'll probably be back around the same time tomorrow night, maybe a little earlier, just so I'm not going to bed too late. But yeah, I might have to do another English beer perhaps. Still got all the English beers there. I just felt like something different tonight, and it was good to do a macro Monday again. So yeah, As I said, it was Bright Brewery's Midnight in the Mountains, coconut, vanilla, and chili stout at 6.2%. And yeah, I've given it a score of around 4.1, 4.2, somewhere around there. Awesome adjuncts like tasty beer, but yeah, just the actual stout base, bit of a letdown. Cheers, peeps. I'm out of here. It's bedtime. Later.